Destiny 2 is a game of many challenges, but one of the hardest ones is figuring out what to do. Immediately on launch, the game throws an overload of information at you, and it can be pretty confusing to figure out every little thing, even to veteran players. However, there's a plethora of out-of-game resources that you can use to make your Guardian's journey just a little bit easier. Here are 6 amazing resources that every Destiny 2 player should be using. Now, let me paint you a picture real quick. You're raiding with your clan, DPS isn't going too well, and you decide you want to swap off a Wither Horde to Izanagi's Burden for a little more damage. The only problem? Your Izanagi's is in your vault, all the way back at the tower. Now, you could leave your fire team to go to the tower, pick it up, and come back, but that's a huge waste of time. Instead, you can use Destiny Item Manager, otherwise known as DIM. DIM is a browser app that allows you to transfer items between characters, as well as to and from your own vault. All you have to do is drag and drop the weapon or armor you need onto the right character, and it'll transfer over in seconds. On top of that, DIM allows you to create custom loadouts, as well as track progress with most vendors and activities in the game. DIM makes your D2 experience significantly more convenient, and I highly recommend using it to save a bit of effort the next time you need something on the fly. This next one is in a similar vein to DIM, but it has some extra functionality worth noting. It's the official Destiny 2 companion app, which is available on the App Store and Google Play. The companion app also has the ability to transfer gear, but it's a bit more slow and clunky, so I'd just stick with DIM for that. The main thing that makes this resource stand out is the ability to pick up bounties remotely. Note that you do need to be in orbit for this to work. You can't just be in any patrol space, but it's very nice regardless. This app also has an LFG system built into it, as well as clan features. The companion app isn't really that necessary, but it can help save an extra trip to the tower if you ever forget to pick up bounties, which I do on the regular. Now, it's no surprise to anyone that armor stats are confusing. If you're anything like me, you've got pages upon pages of armor in your vault with no clue of knowing which rolls are actually worth holding on to. With the help of D2 Armor Picker, however, finding the right armor to create your build is simple. D2 Armor Picker allows you to choose an exotic and allocate the exact stats you'd like to hit. Then, it scans your entire account for the gear that will make those stats, as well as tell you exactly what mod you need to equip in order to hit those stats. I think it'll be easier if I show you though. Okay, so I've got D2 Armor Picker right now, I've got my Warlock selected, so that means all my Warlock exotics are showing up. So, just for the purpose of showcasing this, we're going to go with Transversive Steps and we're going to create a Transversives build. So, right here you've got your stats. I'm going to personally choose to spec into Recovery, I think, so we're going to hit 100 on that. And then you can see all the other stats go down. So what that means is, if we're speccing 100 into Recovery with the armor that we have in our vault and on our account in general, these are the stats we are going to be able to hit if we're going 100 Recovery. So from here, I think I'm going to spec into Discipline, because Intellect isn't that big of a deal because our well is going to charge really fast anyways. So we're going to go for double hundreds here, and then we can see the options are drastically decreasing. So after this, it's kind of up to you to choose what you spec into. I think I'm still going to go for Intellect anyways. And then from there, it doesn't matter quite as much. Once we've got all narrowed down to the exact stats that I want with combinations I can achieve, we can take a look at the exact armor pieces that we need. So, as you can see, we're going to need this Tusked Allegiance hood, these gloves, these robes, the exact Transversives roll that I need because I believe I have multiple, and of course any class item is going to make it work. On top of that, it is going to tell you how many armor mods you need to buff your stats exactly to where they need to be. To my knowledge, this doesn't account for any sort of fragments that are going to buff or decrease your stats, so take those into account when you are making your armor builds. Have you ever wanted to see every perk a gun rolls with to know if it's worth farming? LightGG is for you. LightGG is a database with, well, everything in the game, from weapons to mods and even cosmetics. Viewing weapons allows you to see every perk you can possibly have. You can even go so far as to select each perk you'd like and see how it will affect the weapon's overall stats. Editor Dalton here. Hi, hey, hello, made a quick oopsie. There's apparently a news site called D2 Founded that kind of does the things that Light.gg does, but a little better. So you're gonna be able to look at all of the weapons again, but let's say I want to see the rolls on Immortal Adept. Not only is it going to show you how every single perk is going to affect the stats on the left-hand side there, but it's also going to show you how your other perks affect that weapon. So let's say, for example, I want to look at an Immortal roll with Perpetual Motion, a perk that I find to be pretty good. We're just going to click on that, and then we can adjust it. So we can see how 1 stack of the perk is going to affect it. We can see how 2 stacks of the perk is going to affect it. And of course, we can see how the Masterwork is going to affect the stats. and any sort of mods that we might need. And it's all pretty good. So D2Foundry.gg. Definitely go use that. Okay, bye. One thing I always forget to do at the end of any season is pick up all my season pass rewards. Maybe it's a really good set of armor or just a few exotic engrams that I forgot, but I'm always kicking myself over the fact that I forgot to pick something up. Thankfully, there's a solution in the form of Season Pass Pass. Season Pass Pass is a Firefox browser extension. Yeah, you heard that right. Firefox. This extension allows us to jump back in time and yoink things that we might have forgotten to claim from past season passes. Keep in mind that you'll actually have to have unlocked the reward to be able to claim it. Season Pass Pass is more for getting things that you forgot to pick up, which I have done a little too much. Anyway, finally, let's talk about Today in Destiny. TodayInDestiny.com is a website that shows you, well, it shows you what's happening today in Destiny. You wanna know what the feature raid is? TID knows. What about the daily loss sector? TID knows. On top of that, Today in Destiny has an Eververse calendar feature, where you can see what will be sold in Eververse every week for the current season. This obviously excludes any items that are hidden in the API, but it's useful for figuring out what you want to buy if you're on a Bright Dust budget. Definitely a useful website to bookmark and check every now and again. At the end of the day, Destiny 2 is a confusing game, especially to the average new player. With so many weapons, items, resources, and activities, pinpointing exactly what to do or exactly where to find something can be difficult. However, with the help of the resources we've talked about today, your Guardian's journey can be just a little less stressful. All the resources mentioned in today's video will be linked in the description. If you found this video helpful, a like and a sub go a really long way. And yeah, thanks for watching.